Let's go. That's right, guys. Today we're going to talk about the altcoin season. Will we ever have another altcoin season? Because a lot of people are very much frustrated, including me. But in this live stream, I have the entire thing figured out, okay, even for myself. So it changes how I allocate my portfolio, what I show you in this video. Massive, all right? So definitely we are not in an altcoin season. Yes, I mean, you don't need me to tell you. Yes, but I will show you how it played out in the past and what to expect in the future, and also why so many people got it wrong and they got invested early on and they thought they can outperform, let's say, Bitcoin, right? But as you can see here, only 19 coins outperformed Bitcoin in the last 90 days. The rest of the 10,000 plus coins you find on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap actually lost huge amounts of money. I mean, this list here stops at minus 52, right? But it's a huge list, yeah? So anyone who was in altcoins, again, including me, yeah? And I will tell you how I played it and how I will play it, but got a bit wrecked, or not necessarily wrecked, but is not happy, performance not great. And in the last 1 year, only 13 coins outperformed Bitcoin. Clearly not altcoin season, mate, right? But the thing is, though, that people are expecting the wrong thing. They are looking in the wrong direction because the altcoin season always takes a little bit, it's a bit laggy, yeah, behind Bitcoin. And Bitcoin didn't really do much itself, right? And that is why the altcoin season feels so bad, because it's not even here, okay? Even worse, guys, this is the total 3 chart, right? This is basically the entire altcoin market cap minus Ethereum and stablecoins. And recently we had this massive dump on the 10th of October, right? And we had a dump here of 32%. Some coins more, obviously, right? They went down 70%, yes? But in aggregate, minus 32. So if you had a 3x or more, you got liquidated if you had that, right? If you were on the spot market, you'd be fine. But because of that, and because the sentiment is super bad, or was super bad here when the liquidations happened, and it's still not great anyway, because of that, everyone is like asking, what the hell is happening? Will we ever have an altcoin season? And if we have a freaking altcoin season, then which coins would be interesting? And when, Michael? Okay. And I have all the answers, and I'm quite excited for you guys, because I didn't even know I will find out so much. Okay. So today in this video, in this live stream, I will have a lot of massive things for you, especially this section over here will be a game changer, and especially what is hidden behind this thing, because I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, this will tell you which coins will pump in the future and which ones you should look at, and if we're going to have an altcoin season anytime soon. All right. Also, a couple of other things that I want to show you here, how to play the market, how I play the market, so you see how it plays out, in a real portfolio, like in my portfolio. Okay. With all of that, basically, what we also have today is, of course, we have Steven. And I want to invite Steven on stage and ask him, Steven, were you in altcoins and how was it so far?
Hey everyone, how's it going? So yes, I have been in altcoins for the past couple years. Honestly, they haven't been performing that well at all. It's quite lackluster, to say the least. I'd say, if I mainly just had Bitcoin through this time, my portfolio would have been much better off. So hopefully we still see an altcoin season, but let's see if you're able to change my mind today.
Yeah, exactly. Because my question is, do you want to give up on altcoins? Because that's the sentiment I feel right now in the market. Yeah. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting there quite a lot. I'm feeling like I may want to reallocate, just because it also feels like it's a bit challenging for people to get into altcoins right now, because for people investing, especially retailers investing in crypto, they may just be using the ETFs to get into Bitcoin or Ethereum, to keep those big ones. And if that's the case, they don't have to go into the
So
exchanges. So that
you're not
worries
sure
me a
if
bit.
this time is different, basically, right? Maybe this time
Correct.
is like totally different, and that is why the altcoin season will never come. Maybe. Okay, let's check it out, right? Because I'm
Yes.
not gonna tell you the answer in the beginning, and the reason is that you need to understand a couple of things so that the answer makes sense. Okay, that's why we're
Mm.
going step by step through this, and I will tell you at the end, you and the audience, right? How I play the altcoin market, if I play the altcoin market, and how much I'm allocated. Okay, because of course you need to do risk management, right? So yeah, very
Mm.
interesting stuff. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of the entire thing. So I showed you this already, yeah? So what is clear, and this is basically just, you know, the summary of all. If you had Bitcoin, yeah, you'd be fine, or you'd be okay, I would say. Even Bitcoin was very boring. But if you had like these other 13 coins and you were lucky to have them, cool, yeah. But keep in mind also that even if you had freaking CRO or ADA or BNB or even HBAR, whatever, most likely you're not gonna put a lot of money there, right? You spread your funds. Okay, so cool that you had 3 coins or so that performed, but then you had like 20 that lost a lot of money. Yeah, so that is the issue here, and that's why everyone is like asking, what the hell, should I just go to Bitcoin only, or what should I be doing? And the thing is that, and keep that in mind for later, yeah, when I explain to you how money moves through the markets. I had people, I swear to God, this is not even a joke. They came to me and said, Michael, I think I'm gonna buy gold because this crypto market is crazy. So I don't know, like I don't think this will ever come back and pump again, right? Not even just altcoins. Bitcoin even is not interesting. I'm gonna go and buy gold, mate. Okay, because everybody's buying gold, so I will also buy gold. And I'm like, holy moly, because that is a signal that gold is at the top and Bitcoin and crypto is at the bottom, local bottom, right? And well, how do you say? Behold, yeah, it's exactly what happened. Like, this is gold, yeah, this is the gold chart, and if this is not the top, mate, then I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, in my opinion, this is the top. And by the way, right, because I forgot to say in the beginning, yes, this is not financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose all of your money, right? But that's why I do these live streams, the educational stuff on my channel. Thank you, by the way, for liking, supporting. The channel is growing very fast. But yeah, so I want to share my opinion. It's educational content, right? So I'm saying this also for YouTube because they're checking the videos, yeah? So hey, YouTube, yeah? All good, yeah? This is not financial advice, it's education, yeah? Okay, so if this, right, so guys, if this is not a top in gold, then I don't know. And I swear to God, this is like a daily chat. People came to me here and said, I will go into gold and I will sell my crypto and that's it. Okay, cool. Have fun with that. Boom. They got punished, right? But it's always like this, right? People, they chase, they chase this good mood. If something works, I want to be there. The problem is this doesn't work in trading or in investing, because if it works, it's too late, right? Like, you should have been there way before, yeah? Because everything is like risk reward, yeah? So if you have zero risk, because the whole thing, everyone is happy, everyone wants to have it, then there is no reward left on the table. You can't collect reward, yes? Everyone already collected, yes? And so now the risk is massive that you're coming late, okay? And so that's the problem that people don't understand in trading. So the thing is this, right? What I really want to show you guys is that how money moves through the markets, okay? And this is the chart that will pretty much tell you exactly what's going on. And then also how the money moves through the ETFs and so on to altcoins, and which altcoins will then be interesting. So will there ever be another altcoin season? Let's answer the question by looking at the facts that we have in front of us. So the first fact is that we have the FOMC meeting in about 1 day and, I don't know, not 7 hours, because I made this presentation a few hours ago, but very soon. And there is a freaking 97% chance, right, that we're going to get a rate cut. And what you see here, by the way, is the rate that people expect to have after this announcement from the FOMC. And I have here, for your convenience, this red line. This is the American federal, like the rate, yeah, you know what I mean. And it's at 4.25. Okay, if it's at 4.25 and everyone expects it to go to 4.400 between. It's like always a range, yeah. Then basically that means a rate cut is coming 0.5 or 0.25 cut. Okay, so that is pretty much in the cards. If anything else happens, I mean, if they cut more, that's not good, because if they cut more, it means potentially it means that the economy is in deep trouble, yeah, and they have to cut more to fix that, which is a bad signal. All right, if they don't cut, it's also bad. So the only thing they can do to be bullish for us is to cut 25 basis points, and that's it. If they do anything else, it's not good. Okay, so that is the first thing you need to keep in mind. Let's put the music a little bit more down like this. Okay, because I don't want people to complain that we have too much music. Yes, although I like rock music, so whatever. So, but here's the thing, right? If they cut, they make it easier for businesses to get money, right? It's not immediate, yeah, but market is already anticipating, right? So it's not, doesn't have to happen immediately. Market will buy and invest way before this happens, to be early, right? Because being late and chasing, like I showed you gold before, is not the plan. Then this money makes it into people's pockets, right? By dividends, salaries, selling a business or investing, whatever. And then, and the way that it worked in this bull market is that money went first into gold, right? Then it can go into Bitcoin, and then it can go into, and this is representative of altcoins, okay? It can. Let's see. So do you see a top in Bitcoin? Let me show you, right? So this is the rainbow chart, yeah? It makes it very visually appealing to see if we are in the red zone, and the red zone would be like the danger zone where the top might be happening. Do you see a top here anywhere? Like, I don't know. I don't see a top, but do you see it here, right? Here or here. It was clear, yeah? This was top euphoria area, yeah? But here was so far away. And why I'm showing you this is because, do you see the top in gold? So yeah, I see the top in gold, mate, right? So if the top is there, then I'm asking you, yeah, what if people who made a lot of money in gold, they take some profits, and now they have some money, right? It lies around like this on the bank account, yeah? They're like, what should I do with this money, okay? I mean, they're not going to put it back in gold. They just sold it, yeah, because it's the top. They want to take some profits. So where would this money go, yeah? Where would this money go next? What do you think? Okay, it will go to potentially tech stocks. I mean, for sure, why not? But it will go to risk assets, right? It's a huge category, risk assets. And so this money, if I can just mark it like this, it will move like this, okay? My charting today is amazing. Yeah, I love it. Okay, and then, yes, then you can see this actually to go into the red zone, because even Bitcoin is boring as hell, mate. Like, what the hell? This is not a performance that I came here for, yeah? Okay, and then only once Bitcoin is super pumping, and I will show you the chart and it will make even more sense, then they take profits in Bitcoin, same as before, right? And they move these profits, and now, yeah, it's going to be tricky. But yeah, I managed. Some money is still there, right? In Bitcoin, see, some of the money is still there.
Nice.
But yeah, right? It's amazing. And then it can go into altcoins. And this is the rainbow chart for Ethereum, because they don't have one for altcoins. But again, I mean, look at this. This is the most boring performance I've ever seen in my life, yeah? And don't tell me this is what you came for. I mean, I'm sorry. I come for this, okay? Anyway, so that is pretty obvious. And this is how it works. Now, why I'm showing you this is because first, it makes sense, and you're like, yeah, I know this, but you see how things are coming together, yeah? The rate cut, the gold top, okay, are coming together. The situation, the fact actually that Bitcoin is not yet at the top, it's coming together, okay? That is super nice. And also, what I will show you later, that we might get some altcoin ETFs, ta-da, yeah? That comes together also. If you summarize all this stuff, mate, then tell me that there is no way we have an altcoin season. So, Steven, how do you feel about this so far?
I mean, so far it's making sense. It looks good. I'm liking that, because that means my assets are going to pump. A couple questions I do have for you right now is, can you tell us more about this rainbow chart? Because it looks so simple. Meaning, like, I'm looking at this, it's like, oh, we just gotta wait for that squiggly line to get to the orange or the red, and then we can sell there. right?
Yeah,
Isn't
no,
that
it is. Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think this one might also exist on TradingView. I don't know. I found it. Where did I find it? Here on this website. I will put the link down below. It's blockchaincenter.net, and then they have one for Ethereum, one for Bitcoin, and yeah, I mean, sure.
But it's
You,
definitely so low down there. So low.
yeah,
You know, it's just
exactly. I mean, it's,
hovering for the longest time.
if people are telling me, oh, we're at the top, the cycle is over, because if we look at the chart, yeah, I don't have it now, but if we look at the chart, we are at the end of the cycle. You know, if you measure it, it's called a time count. Yeah, you time it from the halving and whatever. Yeah, and I know it's sexy to do that, but it's totally useless because every cycle was a bit longer anyway. Okay, first of all. Second of all, we have a government shutdown. Third of all, the world is in deep trouble. Yeah, so if it's a bit longer and delayed, it's not unheard of, you know. I mean, it's very plausible. Yeah, and also, who cares about 4-year cycle? I care about trends. If there is a trend in the chart, then that's it. That's what I need to know. Not like, oh, it has to be exactly 4 years. Like, that's not how it works. And if everyone is doing it, the market will find a way to change it a little bit to make you uncertain, which is exactly what it's doing now. Like, you can clearly see that we're not even close to anything that is the top. And if you actually go to the chart and draw a line here from this top, you know, through this here, it's basically a complete sideways movement. I mean, sure, other than this one, but yeah. So Ethereum is lackluster as hell, right? This is like the representation of how bad the altcoin market is. Like, this chart, it's and so the thing is, though, that people expect altcoin, altcoins to pump, like they already. I mean, even me, by the way, because of course, yeah. But I do risk management. I will show you why that didn't really affect me that much. But you know, people expect altcoins to pump at a particular point in time in the cycle, right? They say, okay, so Bitcoin has this halving. Where is this halvings, right? We have this the yellow thing. Here's the halving, all right? And I don't know, like, let's say 260 days after the halving, it has to be like it has to happen, right? Like here,
it has to be at its peak, essentially,
right? But like, no, at its peak was starting to be interesting, but it's not how it works, right? Because remember that money moves like I showed you here. Let me clean this a little bit. Yeah. By the way, if you don't like me to clean the chart,
cool. Look at that.
Yeah, then let me know. But I always clean. So listen, first this has to make money so that the profits and the excitement can go here. And also people who didn't buy Bitcoin early enough, whatever, they want to now make up for by going to altcoins, which still have a chance to pump. It's always like going down the risk ladder. It's completely normal, right? But look at this, mate. Like, if you look at, okay, where's the freaking thing? I can show you here. But look at this, right? Do you really think that people made a ton of money on Bitcoin and they're now like, oh, let's take some profits and put them into altcoins? So, no, mate. Like, nobody, like, yeah, you make some money. Okay, wow, I made some money on Bitcoin. It's fine. But it's not like, I'm not excited, right? It's not yet there. And if this cycle is like that, fine. But that is why altcoins didn't move, right? And it's always like this, right? It goes, yeah, I don't know. Gold is not always part of the game, yes, but in this cycle it is, right? That's why I put it here. But usually it's like risk assets, including Bitcoin, and then altcoins, and then getting wrecked. If you don't have a strategy, you lose it all, the whole thing. And yeah, but on the chart, what I want to show you what happened in the last cycle, and even in the one previous, is that, you see Bitcoin is the candles, and the purple line is the total 3 market cap, so that you see how altcoins basically have been moving up and down in market cap, and it represents the strength, right? And the up and down moves in prices as well. So you can see Bitcoin started going up like pretty good. Then here was a massive sell-off in Bitcoin. Actually, this was like 26% from, well, not exactly from the top. From top to bottom was 30%, right? But you can see here, while Bitcoin was crashing, you see, altcoins, they were okay. They were actually even going up a little bit, right? So there's nothing like this. You don't see any crash, right? And then Bitcoin started to continue, which basically told people, oh, the bull market is still going. But I missed out on this, on Bitcoin. Yeah, I missed out on this, or here basically, 255%. So let's go to some altcoins and make up for it, and some more, right? And you see how delayed it is, right? See how delayed the altcoin
Yeah,
market starts pumping.
absolutely.
And one more thing you need to see, and that's why I have it here. So if I draw a line like this from the previous top of the market cap of altcoins to this cycle that I'm showing you, you can see that anything that happened below this line was still perceived from people like, not sure if they come back, I don't know, right? So but once it went above the all-time high, which was only after Bitcoin went crazy, and Bitcoin still went crazy even more, yeah, then they started pumping more, right? And then really making gains. Because this beginning, okay, nice, right? Whoever was down here, great, respect, you know what you're doing, yeah? But most people, they came later, okay, cool. But then you see, for the rest of the bull market, they moved together. There was no delay.
Oh yeah.
Boom, 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 together, right? Just the beginning is Bitcoin first, then altcoins. That's why I showed you this, right? Make sense? Okay, so if you go to, and also if you go to the previous bull market that topped here in 2017, you can also see the same, right? You see the delay, right? The Bitcoin first, then altcoins. I mean, you know, but here is the proof, yeah? And then they moved together. They went, well, Bitcoin crashed, but altcoins crashed even more. You don't see that difference on the chart because I put them on top of each other and they try to align each other. But if you would measure this on the altcoin total 3 chart, it would be catastrophic. I mean, you know, like most altcoins went down 98%, right? Here you see a massive drop in altcoins. Well, Bitcoin also dropped, but a bit less. In total, this is what it is. Now, if we go to today, right, to the cycle we are in now, okay, how does it look like? Is it similar or what? Well, here's the problem. See the problem? This is where, actually, let me mark it. This is where the bull market started. This bull market started here in 2023, January, okay? And the problem is, though, that they moved kind of together. I mean, sure, altcoins were, you know, taking a bit, not a bit longer, but they had a stronger crash here than Bitcoin, but in total they moved pretty much together. I don't really see a massive delay, right, like we saw in the previous ones. And so that is a bit of an issue. So what it means, okay, it means that people were expecting altcoins to pump, so they already bought ahead of time, okay, because they wanted to be early this time, right? Okay,
yeah.
cool. But because they, you know, and because everyone was already invested, there was no money left to pump it more, okay? And so you can see that, yes, altcoins, they had a cool pump here, right? It was great, Bitcoin as well. And then they had one moment of action over here, like you're sure the entire thing, but these two were quite interesting. And the reason I'm telling you this is because you can even see that here in the altcoin in season index, where you had one peak here. It tried to be an altcoin season. So if you're above the line here, right, this is here altcoin season. If you're above the line, you're in altcoin season. If you're below the line, you're definitely not in altcoin season. And here it tried again, but it was so short-lived, you know, that only a couple of coins moved, and not really like the masses were able to profit from this. And that is why I showed you this, where in the last 1 year, only 13 coins outperformed Bitcoin. That cannot be an altcoin season, right? Okay, so you see what I mean? And so because, and why, okay, why is this the case? I mean, why is it moving together? Why is it not interesting? Well, if you zoom out enough, you can see that the same exercise we did before, we didn't really pump above the all-time high of the market cap of the previous bull market. So we're basically here. Yeah, you see what I mean? Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, essentially what you're suggesting is we have a much longer bull run to go. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you remember we had a live stream about that, and I mentioned that, well, you should watch it, yeah, guys. There was another live stream, I don't even know the name, god damn it. But I mentioned that the bull market looks like, and I not just mentioned, I showed it, that there is a high probability that it will go until March, April next year, for several reasons. If I talk about it now, we have a 1 hour stream, which we want to avoid,
Yes.
yeah? And, but, yeah, so basically, we are here, okay? And that's for me clear. I mean, yeah, you see in the charts, right? Because we are like clearly, yeah, when we are close to this all-time high, previous all-time high of the altcoin market, like that. And so, of course, we can still go down and everything is over, which is why you need a strategy. Let me actually put my tinfoil hat, not really, but you need a strategy cap, yeah, because if this happens, and yeah, then you should be protected in some way, yeah, and not lose your money, yeah, because if you just buy here and say, oh, I pray to God, that's not a strategy, okay? But if it goes up, and I think that's a more probable outcome, then of course this will be amazing. But it can go up only after Bitcoin made proper pump, and it didn't, right? Because remember, where's my great rainbow chart? This is nothing, mate. Like, this is boring, in my opinion. Yes, I mean, yes, there were some nice pumps, but this is nothing. So either this time is super different, and everyone's gonna get wrecked unless they have a strategy to still protect them from the downside, or this time rhymes very much, and the only difference is a bit longer. But it's not like the end of the world if it takes a few months longer. It's not changing the entire idea, what I mean. So that's why I'm okay with this idea to think that the cycle takes a little bit longer. And also, what I didn't show you before, but you might have seen, so below here is the fear and greed index, so you can see it aligned with the chart. And what you can also see is that if we go into the greed zone, this is Bitcoin greed, yeah, very shortly, and then we go back down, then the altcoins don't have time to capture that momentum and the emotions. It's not long enough to make people, excited. But if you're in the greed zone longer, you see what happens then? Boom. See?
Yeah.
And that is
Huge
why,
spikes.
yeah, massive. And that is why, because we were here only shortly, yeah, in these peaks, it was not long enough to excite people to change people's mind to say, okay, let me allocate to altcoins, let's go. Yeah, it was very short. It's like, if you get a sting on your skin, but it's very short, and then you're like, but if it hurts longer, yeah, then you start thinking about it more and planning what to do next. But here, yeah, so this took longer. But here, we had just what happened in this cycle. Well, it was brief, very brief, not even there on the sentiment, right? On the fear and greed, I mean, yeah. So Bitcoin really, if Bitcoin doesn't perform and doesn't give people, the confidence that, oh, I made profits, I can take those profits into altcoins, then it's not going to happen, mate, right? There's no way. Okay, but let's go to, so I think it will happen, but let me show you the best part, right? But before we go to so this is the best part, but the best part still has, or not the best part, the entire story, there is still one caveat, because it's always like that. Nothing is just clear, straight, bullish or bearish, right? There is always pros and cons. Like, you need to understand this, okay? So what is this, right? So this box represents stockbrokers, where you can trade stocks and ETFs and stuff. And this box represents crypto exchanges. You know those, yeah? This one is bigger because there's more money, and this one is smaller, is less money, okay? Because the stockbrokers, like, traditional money are on stockbrokers, and they have billions of dollars there. They could allocate to any of these, and stocks also, whatever. But from gold, right, they could go to Bitcoin ETF very easily. 3 clicks, boom, let's go. From Bitcoin ETF, they could go to Ethereum ETF, which already exists, right? So please, this is pretty obvious, but let me zoom in and tell you. Bitcoin, Ethereum have the highest chances of making money. Not financial advice, but obviously because money can move into them quickly. Okay, there is no border. Yeah. Now, but altcoins, how does this money move into altcoins? Huh? It doesn't work, right? Because there is no altcoins on the freaking stockbrokers, and also to withdraw the money, yeah, to put it on your bank and then to send it to the crypto exchange. Oh my God! Like, can you imagine how many questions you get from your bank? Oh, what are you doing and stuff? Like, it's work, yeah. Like, it's not fun or something, yeah. In the previous bull markets, we didn't have this problem, right? Everyone was crypto exchanges. You could move from Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins back and forth. Even gold you could buy, yeah. Let's go. I mean, tokenized gold with PAXG, yeah. If you don't know, now you know. Pretty cool, yeah. Right, so it was very easy to do, yeah, and that's why it was very clear that money moves like this, and it still moves like this, right? Because it's a human behavior. It's not like given by the system. Like, people do that because they go into risky assets. because they are greedy and because they missed out on Bitcoin, Ethereum. Okay, I mean, it's pretty obvious. And greed, by the way, where was it? Here, you see, greed. If greed is high long enough, like here, yeah, that will trigger a lot of this emotional, knee-jerk reaction. Oh, let's buy whatever. I want to just make some money, right? On altcoins. Now, this is a problem for me, right? This is a big problem, but there is a solution. I mean, the problem of this money not being able to go into altcoins. Okay, that's a big issue. But there is a solution, and the solution is coming from companies in the US actually applying for launching altcoin ETFs. Okay, guys. And that's awesome. Whichever it is, Bitwise or God knows, doesn't matter. But they're applying for it. That's what matters. And now we have a government shutdown in the US. Yeah. I mean, Steven, you're a US guy, yeah, but you're not there. But I don't think there was a government shutdown that long as it is taking place today. Yeah, so I think they're already closed for a few weeks. But whereas in the past it was maybe 1 or 2 days, and then said, "Fine, we're gonna raise the ceiling, we're gonna spend more money." But in this case, they're closed. So if they're closed, they cannot decide to allow or disallow ETFs, or they cannot do many things. By the way, they cannot even report on economic numbers. They cannot do a lot of stuff. So once this shutdown is resolved, and it will be, right, because otherwise the country is dead forever. Yeah, so it will be resolved. The decision will be made on these ETF applications. The chances are very high that some of them or all of them will be approved. And what does that mean, guys? Well, it means that now finally, instead of this being strike through, now it is no problem, because actually, yeah, we have altcoin ETF, right? Boom. Holy shit, right? Holy moly. Can you imagine what that means, guys? Yeah.
So now the market is much more going to be open for the crypto market. Now, in that case, it also sounds like, I'm assuming it's still going to be the major altcoins that are going to have ETF approval. Solana.
So that's the question, right? So the question is, which altcoins will be in these fucking ETFs, which is not so easy to find out, but I found out. And actually, I have them here in a list.
Found out.
Yeah, right. I have a list, but I made it so that you cannot read it because I want to give you at the end, yeah? So if you want to allocate, yeah, these are the coins. Yeah, these are the coins you should allocate because they have the highest chances of doing something. I'm not saying you will make money, but I'm saying the probability is not bad. Yeah, okay, because it's not financial advice. But these are facts. I mean, yeah, makes sense. So we have the FOMC. I think it's like tomorrow. This will be very high, very likely a rate cut. Funds will trickle down. Like it's gonna send positive signals. The whole thing will play out. And if you just joined now, rewatch it, then you'll be fine. Okay. Now, all is great, but I have 2 more things for you, right? So how do I play the altcoin market from here on out? Okay, because I mean, it matters, yeah. So very briefly, because the way that I play it is I do risk management first and foremost. So for me, managing risk is number 1, and making money is number 2. Okay, and automation is number 3, because I don't want to waste my life sitting in front of the chart. Yeah, so automation, but risk management is the most important thing, because I want to be part of the market for a long time. I don't want to lose all my money, and then I'm like, damn, I can't play the game anymore, you know. So that would be stupid. That's why risk management is number 1. I don't care. Sometimes I even choose a strategy based on the lower risk, even though it makes less money. But yeah, so if you know anything about trading and investing, that should be your priority. Number 2 is making profit, and number 3 is automation. I told you, right? Okay. So the way I play it, right, is I have a portfolio, and here I have most of my money, double digits percentages. Here I have second most of my money, yeah. And you can see Bitcoin, Ethereum, makes sense. Why is Bitcoin double? Is because I have different strategies that are in the OG category, which is the best risk reward category that you can get on this market in this entire industry. But then I have one more strategy, which is not the best, but pretty good and makes a lot of money. And so it's in the promising category, gets less allocation, but is still playing Bitcoin. So I have 3 strategies on Bitcoin, okay? And yeah, Ethereum is also promising. It's not OG. It was OG for a few weeks, but then it had this fucking dump and it lost a little bit. So yeah, that's why it's now promising. It's fine. But then I have a smaller double-digit number here, and then single-digit percentage allocations onto this high risk and YOLO categories. I don't want to share all of my coins because my members would not be happy, right? I guess if I share the entire thing with everyone, although I share my portfolio with them, yes, but yeah. So yeah, I have coins like Solana, Ondo, Hype, and every such coin is fully automatic in my portfolio with the strategy that, like, one of my strategies that I have personally, and I allocate to them the amount of money that I'm allowed to allocate. And this is how I play it, right? Of course, I allocate to these coins here. Yeah, I mean, that's clear. I will show you. But I also calculate the risk. And there is a particular method to do that. I teach it in my course. You can check it out, whatever. But to show you how I play it, this is how I play it. Okay, I take these 3 strategies, I calculate the risk, I put them into the portfolio, I automate the whole thing, and then it's like a placing bets, right? It's placing bets, and the bets are sized properly so that I don't put too much on Ondo, right? I don't put too much on Solana or whatever. And then they're playing out automatically with the strategies buying and selling, right? So this is how I play it. Okay, I manage risk, I put the right coins there, these coins and more, and I automate it. In case you don't know, yeah, my channel is called Michael Automate. So what do you think I do? Yeah, so I automate my entire portfolio, and I use Signum.money for that. By the way, it's this software that I developed to make it easy to do exactly this, to automate, to build a portfolio and automate it with strategies. There are even strategies here in the software. You find strategies there. If you search for some, they're pretty good. So basically, this is how I play it, right? And before I go to revealing which coins are interesting, I want to see if there are questions or if Steven wants to know something.
Well, I'm sure everybody's just holding on to their seats to see what's actually going to be revealed over there. But so far, a couple questions. If we take a look at it, we got Aloha J here, and he asked, hey, what are some other factors that can potentially affect the crypto market besides some of the other ones that you shared earlier?
I mean, if they were relevant, I would have shared them. Yeah. So this is the whole thing. I don't think there is anything else that would have a big enough impact to change my opinion or the situation. So I think those are the factors. Yeah.
Okay. And another one from Danny. He was asking, with Signum, if you plan on adding something like Jupiter for Solana, or are you mainly just going to use the centralized exchanges in Hyperliquid?
Oh yeah, great question. Actually, I get it. Let me see. I can go to my account here, and here when you go to create bot, you can see we already have like Hyperliquid because it's a proper exchange where you can, trade a lot of pairs, and they have all the features you would expect with limit orders and all this stuff. You can even leverage it with futures if you like. Okay, so that's our. So Hyperliquid is our on-chain version of exchange, but yeah, it's true. Most of them, most of the exchanges we support are centralized ones. Funny enough, by the way, most people that use Signum and are in my course, they don't trust Hyperliquid because it's like you have to be like maybe young or like tech savvy or a nerd or like me, yeah, then you love this stuff, right? You put all your money. But if you come from the traditional world, you do want somebody to be responsible, that you know who it is and who is the CEO, can you sue, worst case scenario. So that's why people go to these big exchanges, even OKX. By the way, we launched OKX US for if you're a US user. This is way better. It's much cheaper to use and it's great experience. So that's a new thing. Anyway, so mostly centralized. We have Hyperliquid. We're gonna add some more decentralized options. Not Jupiter. Like we want to add Apex exchange. So that's like decentralized exchange that is backed by Bybit. So it's a DEX. And this is pretty cool. It's done by very smart people. We just didn't get around to implement, but we will. So Apex is gonna come as well. We're gonna add Aster, right? Aster exchange, which you all know, yeah, because CZ from Binance is pushing it, right? So we're gonna add this guy here, right? So, and depending on which one is, having traction, because we're not going to support some small exchange. Doesn't help anyone. We have to support the big ones that people actually need, and those are the ones you can expect coming here into the futures section in Signum. But you can already do futures on Bybit and on Hyperliquid, so centralized and decentralized.
Awesome. I've got one other question. John, he's asking about the strategies themselves. And he asks, do you trade all these coins on the 1-day chart, or you mix between 1 day and the 4 hour?
So personally, I trade them all on the 1 day. And the reason is because the strategies that I use, those ones here that I have in my course and that I use personally, they are designed for the 1 day chart. What I mean by that is when I create strategies, I have obviously coding skills. So I'm a developer, right, for over 20 years. And I run a lot of experiments, and you need to like focus on a time frame, because otherwise it will take forever to calculate. Okay, like if I try all the time frames, I will sit here years to have some results. So yeah, so I focus on the 1 day. There is also a different reason for that. Not a different, but there is a reason, is that the 1 day chart is the most used chart in any like TV, YouTube and any kind of Bloomberg, and right. So the 1 day chart triggers most emotions in people's brain for the asset class, because that's the one they look at when they want to make decisions. They don't go to 1 hour chart to make a decision. Big money, right? Big money makes decisions on the 1 day chart. And because of that, I want to capture that emotion, right? And I want to capture that trend. And also, I have another video on my channel that is not a live stream, but a pre-recorded video, where I talk about why shorter time frames or faster trading on shorter time frames sucks. Like why it's a trap, because you have a lot of competition there with high frequency machines that you cannot compete against. I mean, I'm a tech guy. I can tell you, I cannot compete with them. It's impossible. They have unbelievable amount of money, and they are close to the exchange. Their signals come faster. So on the 1 day, you avoid all of that, right? But then if you go above 1 day, it's then too slow, right? Because then you react way too slow. If you go on the weekly chart, like, oh my God, until you make a trade, it takes forever. And so I just found in my research, in my experimentation, in the data that I calculated, hundreds of millions of combinations of strategy parameters and indicators, and it came out that the best risk reward is the 1 day chart. I mean, yeah. So maybe I should do a video about this. So that is why I'm on the 1 day, and I'm so focused on it.
Right. Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm thinking we should reveal some of the altcoins.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So those are the altcoins that are supposedly gonna be part of not just one ETF, but like the aggregate of multiple ETFs that supposedly gonna launch after the government shutdown and the SEC makes a decision. SEC, by the way, is run by not Gary Gensler anymore, if you know that guy. If you remember this Dracula amigo, looked like Dracula somehow. He's out, So the new guy, the new chief, is bullish or positive towards crypto. So it's nice. Even better, right? So anyway, appointed by Trump's administration, and so that's why the chance is very high. That's why what I'm telling you is very important, I think. So to reveal this, I have to just change the color. So 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Not financial advice, please. YouTube, don't sue me. So Solana, okay, Litecoin, what the hell? I still have some Litecoin from a long time. I just didn't bother because not so much money. I didn't automate this one. So hey, like, why not? The funny thing with altcoin is it's still like a very much OG coin. I mean, that was, I think, the second coin ever or something like that. I was there, I bought it. I still have it since forever. But I didn't expect that, right? I think this is coming into the ETF just like nostalgia, like to cater to people who are in crypto a long time, and they want to just, move it into centralized exchanges. HBAR, interesting. I never would have put that in there without researching. XRP, okay, I understand. The guy has a lot of influence on politics, so I get it. ADA, okay, whatever. AVAX, totally understand why. That makes sense. I know the performance was super bad lately, but but it can help. AVAX. DOT is like the worst technology ever. I'm sorry, like, okay, so don't sue me, yeah. But it's there. Doge, I understand. Aptos, I don't understand why it's there. Sui, I don't understand. Those are so niche, not niche, but like, I don't know why it's there. Doesn't matter. They are part of this. TRX, totally get it. It's pretty old one, kind of, and it's not that old, not as old as Litecoin, but old enough to be solid in the market. Pretty bad performance in general. But my strategy still made money on this, even though this is mostly sideways coin. And Say, which is completely random for me, by the way. But anyway, these are the coins that have the highest chance of being part of these ETFs. Okay, it's always about probabilities. Nothing is certain. Yeah, you can't be sure. If you want to be sure, you have to get a job and make a salary. But this is, it's about probabilities. So percentage really, chance very high that this coin's gonna be there. So if you allocate, right? So what I will do, right? I take these coins, I will put them here on the side. I will evaluate them with my strategies and I have this evaluation spreadsheet where I put the numbers and it will tell me exactly which strategy to use and how much money. And then I will put them wherever I am allowed to put them. And then I will automate them. And then I will have a few more bots here. And that's it. It's very easy. Sure, it takes me like maybe 20 minutes, but I could create some sub accounts. I will basically go here. I will create some more Bybit sub accounts, I guess, or let's see, and just allocate money there. And that's how I'm going to play the entire thing. So I think, like, if this is not value, guys, I don't know. So altcoin season is coming. These are the coins. You need a strategy. And you can get a strategy. I almost forgot to show you. If you go here to signum.money, you create an account. It's free. You go to strategies here, yeah, and you can get this strategy by giving yourself access. It doesn't cost you, right, to do that. And Ichimoku strategy, you can also get yourself access. Those are pretty good strategies you can use. But of course, my strategies are better, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't. Yeah. But they are only part of the course because I don't want too much money to go through these strategies, because otherwise the trades can be detected, and I don't want that. Yeah. And so with my strategies, for example, on Ethereum, I made 4,000% profit with 22.8% max drawdown. Even if Ethereum had a drawdown of 77%, the strategy took care of to mitigate that quite dramatically. Or on Solana, for example, with the same strategies, 48,000%. Okay, this is a lot because of this.
What is that?
It's not going to happen again. Although, let's see, right? Let's see. It might. The drawdown is higher because risk reward, right? You have more risk. You should have more reward. And that's the case here, right? 43% drawdown, but with 48,000% profit, that's fine for me, right? But as you can see, mostly Solana didn't do much. It's just mostly sideways, really, if you average it out. And the pump that really mattered was early in the bull, but then that's it, right? It pretty much stopped. On Ondo, I use this other strategy, bot slow. I have to show the trades. Why is it? No, it's there. It was just slowly loading. So on Ondo, I use this one where it captured this very nicely in the beginning, and then this as well. But yeah, like it went down fast. It still made 50%. And then let's see. So this is a young asset. This falls into my young asset category, which means that I have to use this strategy particularly. And I just have to give it more time because it's not enough trades to make a big decision here. But I want to play, right? So that's why I analyze, I put the money, I automate, and then pray to God. And then, and that's why Ondo is high risk and it doesn't get too much money off my portfolio, right? It makes sense, no? And then we have Hype, and that's the last one I want to show you because I have Hype in my portfolio. I use, again, it's a young asset. That's why I use both slow. That's part of the process in my course. And you see here, Hype was captured nicely. Sadly, the drop was so dramatic with the freaking dump. So it made only 66%. It could have made more if this wasn't such a dramatic dump here. But if I make money while this dump happens, I'm happy. So this is still a young asset. If you zoom out properly, nothing happened. Honestly, it's nothing. This is nothing. But I do still think that Hype is interesting, which is why, to remind you, which is why we added Hype to Signum, because I think it's a cool exchange and it makes sense to have, right? So I believe in the product. That's why I invest in the coin. Okay, so you should do the same. So don't just Don't just go ahead, right, and say, oh, I'm going to invest in all of these coins, I don't care. Yeah, because you should know what they're doing. You should have the conviction to stick through the bad times as well. Okay. And yeah, if you have a strategy associated with the coin that takes care, it's easier to survive it, because you might have sold before the crash or God knows what, which is exactly what happened in I don't know, I think Solana case. Let me check here. This is the one I use on Solana. Yeah, so it sold before, you see, it sold before the crash, and of course I could survive it much better. And with these strategies here, you might, depending on the coins you're using, you might have the same positive experience, which is great. So yeah, that's me. I think that's all I have for you, basically. I think I'm very bullish, by the way. So, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, how do you feel now, Steven, after what I showed today? Because you said in the beginning, it's getting weird. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to still be in this altcoins. But how do you feel now?
I'm feeling quite excited now. It feels like I want to spend the time that I have right now to go reallocate, actually, and put it into certain altcoins. So that makes me feel good, and appreciate you sharing all of that, because it definitely changed the mood.
I can even make your life even better if you go to subscription and you do decide, this is the one for the members. I want to show you, we have a coupon. We have a freaking coupon. If you go to subscription, you find this Wrecktober sale.
Nice.
So everyone got wrecked in October. So we said, okay, if you got wrecked, we have to lower the prices for Signum to make it easy, like a bit easier for you. -25. If you're using this Wrecktober code here, when you just go check out, and you get Signum for automation, you get Signum for the strategy access, right? To actually to pretty much automate these coins that you like, and do risk management the right way. It is the easiest way to do it right now, because you have the coupon, you have everything you need. And if you don't know how to automate, I think I should put a comment down below to a video that shows you exactly how to automate. But then again, if you click on get access here, there is a video already for each of these strategies to explain to you how to use them. So I have everything that you can think of, like, because my goal is to help people to survive the market and to get out of this market with profits, hopefully, right? Not financial advice, please don't sue me, bro, but that's my goal, right? My goal is to help as many people as possible to make and protect. And that's why I have this automation, the strategies, the channel, the whole thing. So if that's what you care about and you value, then subscribe, like, comment, share. These live streams are quite new for my channel. So I'm still practicing, I'm still learning, right? So any support from you guys, from the audience, I love, I appreciate, I need even, yeah. And so, yeah, I'm gonna do more streams. I think it's cool. Like, there is a lot of stuff to say, and I'm gonna do more pre-recorded videos anyway, because I love to educate. But if you want to help,
one other
then
thing as well is, let's say someone has additional questions that they want to ask after this live stream. Where can they go to do that?
So below the video, yeah, great question. Below the video is a description. You can open the description there, and there is a section with links. And the first link is Telegram. We have a Telegram group with like 16,000 people, and you can be sure that I mean, I even have administrators there helping, answering 24/7. We have people from all different time zones, right? So that there is always someone online to help you with questions around Signum, strategies, automation, even creating new strategies. People create strategies and share them there. Yeah, so join the Telegram. That's where we hang out. We stick together.
Yeah. Also, if you want to have us answer live and we haven't been able to get to you, or it comes up sometime later, make sure you come on the next live so that we can do our best to answer those questions as well.
Yeah, come to Telegram, come to the next live. Support the effort here to help as many people as possible to make it in crypto with automation, because I'm a tech guy. Of course, I would automate. That's my whole existence. Yeah, I automate everything, even at home, and yeah, it's crazy. People come to me, how do I do this thing? Yeah, okay, let me show you. And for me, it's quite easy. It comes easy to me. That's why. Yeah, so I have one talent, which is that. So with all of that, I would suggest that you go and check out signum.money. You check the strategies, you automate, you check the coins I just showed you before, and check if you like them and blah. And then you come to Telegram and tell me if you got any value from this video. And with all of that, see you in the next live stream. Bye bye.
All right. See you guys.